Hello and welcome back to my channel, the Earthstar Tribrid. This is your host, the Earthstar Tribrid. So, my boys came back to work today. I have these two co-workers. They they work there, and yet when their school starts back up, like college, they go off to college, and then when they go on breaks or vacations, they come back. So they were back today, and one of them specifically was like, I love these guys to death. I ain't gonna hold you, like, they're awesome. So, like, one of them, me and him usually go back and forth on a few things. We both have different views on stuff, and it's cool. Like, he has certain questions, and he's like, oh, well, maybe you should ask. I'm like, oh, yeah, I will ask. So, these two, I was having a conversation with the other coworker, like, on gun laws, and, like, what does the divine think we should do about gun laws in the U.S.? What does the divine think we should do about school safety? Because I'm telling you, I do not ever one time remember having to do like shoot like live shooter drills. Like I've never had to do that growing up. It was always like fire drills, or like when I lived in North Dakota, we had tornado drills. If there was a tornado, because it's part of Tornado Alley, they got them a lot. So we would have tornado drills or fire drills. But other than that, like I've never had to do a live shooter drill. So me and a coworker earlier today were actually having a conversation about that. I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe these are questions I should ask. Da, da, da. So we're gonna get into these. And then when I was talking to my coworker who came back from school, we were talking about Jeffrey Epstein, President Trump, and a couple other things like Bill Clinton and Bill Gates and stuff. But as I was reading up, I know who Jeffrey Epstein is. Like I'm not completely living underneath a rock. I know who that is. But when I was reading up on his death, that's pretty interesting. I was like, huh. So was it suicide? Was it staged? Was it attempted murder? Like I'm curious. My curiosity is piqued. I've also I was watching some things on what was it? Pierce Pierce Morgan and Candace Owens. He was asking Candace some questions, but she wasn't giving a direct yes or no. She kept dancing around the questions. She wasn't like being factual. She was just like, I'm not gonna stop and da da da. I'm like, okay. But it was a yes or no question. I hate it when people don't just answer yes or no. They just want to dance around and beat around the bush. So there's some questions I want to ask regarding that to see what it says. But here's an interesting. First of all, Rob and Michelle want to get into more things about their case. So like check this out. This is crazy. Watch this. All right. So am I speaking to the All High Almighty? Am I speaking with Jesus Christ? Am I speaking to anyone else other than the two of you? Yes. Okay. So am I speaking with Rob and Michelle Reiner? Okay. Am I speaking to anyone else other than the four of you? No. Does Caden Black want to come forward with anything? No. Does Charlie Kirk want to come forward with anything? No. This part's crazy. Because I know what he's done, am I allowed to channel Jeffrey Epstein? No. Is it because he's in hell right now? Yes. Can I ask questions about him to the divine? It says yes. So can I call upon him? No. Because he's in hell serving his time. Yeah. That was crazy. I was just like, oh snap. So even if so say if you went to hell, that tells me right there I won't be able to channel. So I can't channel anybody who's in hell right now. So if I'm able to channel them, it means they're in heaven. Okay? So which one should we do first? Should we do Rob and Michelle first? Or should we do my questions that I have on the piece of paper first? Rob and Michelle. Okay, so apparently Rob and Michelle want to speak more about what happened to them. Okay, so let me be right back. I already did the cleansing. I just need to start lighting my candles and stuff. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I was reading some of my comments, and one of them here says, "So the It Man is from Florida." I don't believe he's from Florida. Like, Florida just kept coming up, so there's something significant. Like, Florida and Mexico and Cuba is right in the middle of those two, so I'm wondering, like, we'll ask that, whether or not, like, Cuba, because Cuba is a country where you can't be extradited. So if they were to fly there or, like, charter over there, whenever I was getting something on charter, like, going on like a trip or something, whether they go on a trip for just fun because they just seem to be like really arrogant, like they got away with it, um that could be what it means, or it could be like, it could be both. They can either fly there or they can charter a boat over there if they have like some type of yacht. I mean, they're in California. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have a boat, but the fact that California's over here and then Cuba's over here and you got all that land space, so I would think they would probably like either fly to Mexico and then go over to Cuba, because like I said, Cuba, you can't be extradited over there. But there's been plenty of times where you've heard people literally driving to Mexico to get away so that way they can't be found by the police. Now, when you're asking and there's a hive, I don't believe like it's a hive per se, but it's more of a hive mindset. A hive mindset is a group of people, which is three or more, not two. Two is a couple. Three or more, who are like, say you got your three people, right? They have to make sure their stories match. Okay, so they got to make sure. Okay, well, if we're ever asked any questions, we got to make sure we say this, and you got to make sure you say that, and this is what you're gonna have to say, and you got to stick to your story. All right. So that's more of a hive mindset that I'm speaking of. So this seems to be a huge organization. I mean, maybe even more big. Here's the thing. When I asked about them murdering other people before or having other people murder, it said no. But when you're embezzling money, laundering money, doing fraudulent, like defrauding organizations or companies or anything like that, you obviously will have victims. Victims, like people who have been, embezzled or like defrauded in any way, those are considered victims too. So that could be where the extra victims are coming from. I mean, it would make sense. But when it comes to people who have been murdered by what is like the people that I'm suggesting it is, or not I am suggesting, but they are telling me that it is, then it says no when it comes to murder. But we can always ask again just to clarify. And then the one below that says, early on, why did the daughter say her mother told her it was Nick? I don't believe I ever said, I don't know if that's something you read, but I don't believe I ever said that. Or if I did say that, I was rereading something that was, posted online somewhere. Obviously, she wouldn't be able to tell her that Nick did it because she wasn't alive. Like, that would make no sense. You know what I mean? So why was it and then this one, I mean, like, here's the thing. I can ask this question about it. It says, why was it said that the coroner did not show for hours? Here's the thing. Coroners aren't just sitting around, playing video games or whatever. They have other people die. You know what I mean? They have other bodies to go over. Just because somebody, like, say you're here, somebody's laying on the slab, you guys are going over trying to go over the autopsy, and then somebody rings you up and say, hey, a celebrity's dead. You have to come over here and do this. And I'm like, bitch, are you serious? Obviously, they probably wouldn't say it like that, but it's just like, you just can't drop what you're doing, especially if you're, checking in on other bodies, just because somebody's a celebrity or just because somebody's like a high elite type of person. All right, if you're doing a job, you have to do said job first. You got to finish what you're doing. You can't just sit there and be like, okay, well, fuck you. Let me go over here. Like, no, they could just be working. I can ask. We can clarify that, but you got to understand, people aren't just sitting around not doing anything. They do. They're a coroner. They study the bodies. They try and figure out what's going on. Okay. They could have been held up in traffic. Again, we can ask. Okay. So what was it? Why did the coroner take so long to get to Reiner's home? Okay, so we can ask that question. And then were others in the neighborhood able to come into the home prior to the police or coroner showing up? I mean, somebody would have had to let them, and the only person that were there. I mean, we had Billy Crystal. What was it? The daughter was the one that found the bodies, and I know from what they said on the internet that she called after she called 911. She called Billy Crystal, which is a family friend, and I think he came over with his wife or whatever. So. Or others. And when I was okay, so if you're whenever before I write that down, like if you're regarding what I said about the daughter and the mother, I read something where the daughter was saying that she saw an argument between it was either her mother or her parents and Nick at one point in time, and it was scary. And that's when I was getting into a conversation where it's like, when my son was, I mean, granted, he was 3, not 32, or like a grown ass man, but like the way he was acting was kind of like way out of character. Okay, but this was before he was finally evaluated as autistic. So if they don't know how to, like, and like I said, like back in those days when he was, like 30 something years ago, they didn't have the support system like they have now, like earlier intervention, I don't think, to be able to, actually, let me look that up. When did early intervention start? Creating Part H, later Part C of the individual's mandating. I mean, early intervention, I can ask. Okay, so it says early intervention for infants and toddlers with disabilities officially started in the U.S. in 1986. Okay. I mean, officially started with the Education of the Handicapped Act amendments, creating Part H, later Part C of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act IDEA, mandating states provide services for ages birth to 3. This built on earlier efforts like Head Start in 1965 and the Handicapped Children's Early Education Assistance Act in 1968. Okay. So the 1986, this landmark legislation incentivized states to provide services for infants and toddlers with disabilities birth to 3, establishing the foundation for today's Part C. In 1990, where IDEA came in, the EHA was renamed IDEA, formally including early intervention as Part H, okay? Okay, so I don't know what that all means, but 1997, so we're gonna ask. Okay, so okay, hold on. Let me write down what your question was. Were others allowed into home before coroners and police? Was, I think her name's Romy, in home? Did Billy Crystal go into home? Anyone else other than the killer go into home? Okay. Did Nick Reiner receive early intervention services as a child? Okay, so IDE. I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. Let's. So IDEA, which is the acronym for what I was talking about earlier, was reauthorized by making Part H the permanent Part C, and final regulations were issued in 1999. So, according to the California Department of Developmental Services, in 2004, IDEA was reauthorized again and remains the current framework for early intervention. Okay, so in essence, while roots go further back, the structured, federally founded early intervention system we know today began in 1987, driven by advocates and professionals recognizing the critical window for development in infants and toddlers. Okay, so we can go a little bit more into that. Yeah. So, because nobody, okay, so here's the thing. I feel like, especially if you're in high society, you want to have that perfect version of like your life, like whether it's business, career, like career, family, or friend life. You want that perfect image that nothing's wrong. So maybe because that's back then. I mean, keep in mind back then you can get 4 little bags of chips for a whole $1. Nowadays it's more than $1. So I feel like back then, like, it's a little bit more iffy, whereas today, like, because there's people out there right now that won't get, the help their kids need because they're afraid of people looking at them specifically, like looking down on them in a way, like, oh, there's something wrong with your child, there must be something wrong with you, yada, 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 yada. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Show me yes. Show me no. Am I speaking to the All High Almighty? Am I speaking with Jesus Christ? Am I speaking with Rob and Michelle Reiner? Am I speaking with anyone else other than the 4 of you? No. Okay. Do you want to get started with what's written down or something that you want to get off your chest? Something you want to get off your chest? What's written down? Okay. So why did the coroners take so long to get to the Reiner's home? Well, your home. Should we roll the dice or pull letters? Roll dice. Pull letters. Okay. Why did the coroners take so long to get to your home? Okay, Jupiter, Spring, Sagittarius, Aquarius. The number 4, Summer, and Immutable, which is change. Do you need me to pull more letters? Yes. This dice here, are we taking it for Taurus or Leo? Taurus? Taurus? Leo. Taurus, we got 11th house, exclamation, and question mark. Would you like me to pull any more letters? No. Just so you know, I will not be on tomorrow because, just a reminder, I'm having a deep clean done. And they're going to be numbing my mouth, so I'm going to be kind of sore. I'm most likely, like, it's not going to, I've already had, they have to do it in 4 segments. So this is the 3rd one that they're doing, and then I'll have one more after that. But every time they do it, like, I think I'm okay. But then as soon as the anesthesia, the numbing wears off, I'm like, oh my goodness, my jaw's sore. So I most likely will not be on tomorrow because of that. I'll just be taking like a day off. And then, of course, we got Christmas coming up, and I really hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas and you guys get everything you want. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, or happy Atheist Day. I don't know. But hopefully you have a nice, relaxing day off because a lot of places are going to be closed, including jobs. But like I said, if anybody has any questions, like say if you have any questions on anything else that I've already did videos on, I do go back to see if I've gotten any more comments on anything. But if you guys have any questions about certain things, like, well, what about this, what about that, and I remember reading something, yada, 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 I can always go back. Well, one, I would have to ask if they want to come through first. It's not like I can sit there and be like, well, hey, we want to know. But they're like, let me rest in peace type deal. So they have to at least come through and want to talk. So this is about why were the coroners taking so long? Why were the coroners taking so long? Are the answers in the letters? Yes. Is the answers in the symbols? Yes. It's my favorite color, red. No. Okay, here we go. So we got 411. We got clients. We have gas. Odd clients. Do I have a P out here? Were they working on other clients? Did they? Were they working on the other client, like another body? Did they stop for gas? Yes. Food. Did they stop for food or were they out eating already? Okay, so they were eating food. They had to stop for gas. Anything else? Yes, okay. They were being slow. Were they being slow intentionally? Were they told to be slow? No, they were just being slow because they wanted to take their time eating and getting gas.
Good evening. Let's take a look.
The fact that I just jumped right into a commercial kind of tells you. So they stopped for gas and food? No, so they were out eating. They were okay. So they were taking their time eating, and then they stopped. Did they stop for gas before they went to eat? No, after they got done eating. Okay, so they were taking their time eating. They were most likely out to eat. Did they get the call when they were out eating? Was it their like lunch break, dinner break? No, it was their lunch break. Okay. I mean, it's not like they were going anywhere. Not to sound rude or heartless, but it's like, all right, well, we'll be there. Not like the bodies were going anywhere. Was that their mindset? Was that their mindset? Yeah, it's not like the bodies were going anywhere. We're just going to take our time eating our food. We'll stop for gas, and then we'll swing by the house. Okay. Is there any more messages within the letters? No. Are there messages within the symbols? Yes. Alright, what am I doing? Taurus and 4th house. Taurus in the 4th house in astrology signifies a deep need for stability, comfort, and tangible security in home and family life, valuing traditions, nurturing environments, and beautiful, well-nourished spaces. I mean, that's definitely talking about the home. These individuals seek strong roots, often have caring, though sometimes strict parents, and build a solid foundation through sensory pleasures and material comfort, but may resist change emotionally. So obviously, that is the Reiners. That's their energy. We've got Sagittarius, 4th house. You seek freedom, adventure, and big picture meaning within your core roots, often feeling at home while traveling or exploring, needing space in family life, and potentially having parents for an upbringing with a philosophical or worldly bent, leading to a lifelong quest for your true, expansive home base, maybe in another country. Okay. And then we have Aquarius. So this is all about the home, unconventional home life, and emotional foundation where security comes from freedom, intellect, and individuality rather than traditional norms, often leading to unique family dynamics, a need for mental stimulation at home, and discovering deep. So this is about, okay, so when we're doing these signs in the 4th house, it is literally speaking in the sense of their home, okay? Let's see what we're going to get. We'll see what we get in the 11th house. Aquarius in the 11th house in astrology signifies a strong focus on friendship, groups, community, hopes, and ideals where you're drawn to unique, intellectual, and humanitarian connections, often finding fulfillment through large networks, social causes, and futuristic visions, with a need for freedom and individual So, okay. So this is having a little bit more. When they're talking about freedom, they're talking about how the coroners, they're taking their time. Especially if they've been doing this for like years. They're like, listen, it's not like the bodies are going anywhere. Let's just do what we got to do. We're still getting paid. It's, it's kind of like draining the clock. Getting paid, but also not working at the same time. I worked with people like that all the time. It actually irks my soul. It's just like, how are you just going to sit there and not do your job and have everybody else do your job for you? Or you just barely working. You know what I mean? Like that irks my soul. But, to each his own. But basically, they were out eating when they got the call. They were taking their time to eat their food or to finish their food, and then they stopped for gas. Okay, so when I looked up how long did the coroners take to get to the house, I mean, the coroner's office responded quickly to the home of Rob and Michelle Reiner after their bodies were discovered on Sunday in December 2025, with police confirming by Tuesday that the coroner was investigating and needed more time to determine the exact time and cause of death, indicating their presence began soon after the discovery of their daughter. By the following Tuesday, LAPD officials confirmed the coroner was on the scene and investigating its reports suggesting the bodies had been dead for hours. Maybe that's what you meant, though the exact time was pending. Speed. The swift involvement of the coroner's office and police within hours of the discovery shows a rapid response from authorities. Okay. All right. The swift involvement of the coroner's office and police within hours of the discovery. Okay. So yeah. So they were eating their food. I mean, obviously the police would have gotten there a lot faster to secure the premises and make sure nobody messes with anything and stuff like that. But the coroners, they can't just go right in. You know what I mean? It'll take some time for them to get there. Like one, depending on where they're at, where they're stationed at. Two, you got traffic. Three, like I said, like they were probably out eating. It's not like the bodies were going anywhere. So, food and gas is what I'm getting, and then clients. But it said that it wasn't working on. They weren't working on other clients. Were they working on other clients? No. Were they stopping for food? And were they already eating food at the time? Yeah. So they were just finishing the food, and then they stopped for gas, and then they went to the house. Were the police already there before they got there? Yeah. Did they secure the area? Yes. Is there anything else? No. Okay. Alright, so then got that one. Were others allowed into the home before the coroners and police? Okay. Show me yes. Show me no, please. It's my favorite color red. It's my favorite color blue. It's my favorite flower, roses, carnations, lilies. Yes. Okay. Were others allowed into the home before the coroners and police? Yes. Was Romy in the home? Yes. Did Billy Crystal was it Billy Crystal and his wife, or just Billy Crystal? Did he enter the home? No, he did not. Okay. Did anyone else other than the killer other than the killer, the police, and the coroners, did anybody else enter the home? No. So Billy Crystal waited outside with Romy? Okay. Was Romy in there for a long period of time? No, she saw what she saw and she called the police and got out of there. Did the police tell her to leave the scene? Yeah. And the reason why is because you don't want to, mess with anything. You know what I mean? Okay. Did Nick Reiner receive early intervention services as a child? No. Would that have helped him? Yes. So he didn't receive that as a child. So, why didn't Nick Reiner receive early intervention as a child? Neptune, which is illusions. We got 7. We got 6. Exclamation. Page. We got Aquarius. Do you need me to pull out any more letters? Yes. Do I need to pull out any more letters? No. Got number 6 again. My kid's playing his game upstairs. He's like, whoa! You're so funny. Okay, so so this is the word that I'm picking up on right now. Okay. Now, this has nothing to do with LGBTQ, okay? Back before it was considered to be LGBTQ, the reclamation, queer, was reclaimed from a derogatory term meaning strange or odd by activists in the late 20th century to describe identities and politics outside the norm, okay? So this is before the LGBTQ, okay? So I'm also getting weird. So they thought he was, and back in those days they would have used the word queer or weird. They just thought he was different. Yeah. So they thought, he was just weird. He was just a weird kid, different, weird kid. I don't. It's either EI or IE. Weird kid. All right, so the family was biased against him. So bias, prejudice in favor of or against one thing, person, or group compared with another, usually in a way considered to be unfair. I'm getting like family was uneducated, and when I say they weren't educated, I mean in the sense of like knowing that their child may need early intervention. I don't have one on. Okay, so I'm not saying they wanted to seem weird. I'm pretty sure, like when it came to the family, like I said, appearances were meant a lot. They didn't want to seem like weird, so we got Aquarius and Neptune. Yeah, signify themes of technological spirituality, collective humanitarianism, and idealistic visions for societal change. blending Neptune's dreams with Aquarius's innovative, detached air. Yeah, so they felt very detached in the sense that they didn't. I don't think they wanted to come to terms with the fact that their child is queer, weird, different, and they remained biased to him. I mean, like, that's what it was back in the day. You know what I mean? That's the way it was. What's Gen Z? What year? What era is? What era? Gen Z. No, demographic. Those are millennials. Succeeding millennials. When I when I look at this like millennial scene, so Generation X most likely would have been his parents or baby boomers. But I would be considered a millennial. And I really don't feel like I was a millennial. I was like the last generation that, you came inside when the street lights came on. You don't come running in and out of the house. Once you're out of the house, you stay out the house until it's the. I was that type of, generation. That's why I was just like, I don't know if that's fully accurate. But it is what it is. Is there any more information on this? Put them all away? Yeah, okay. So they just thought, at the time that, he was just weird, he seemed different, and they were just being biased against it, so that way they didn't seem, they didn't want to ruin their perfect family image in a sense. I mean, obviously they know better now. They know better now, but it's just like, back then, it is what it is. It's, everything's all cut up in the time. I'm glad my son got earlier intervention because, but
It's that time of year again.
commercial came
Happy
on this
Honda
clarification.
Fans. You can drive in a Honda Wonderland of your own with a great offer of a fun-to-drive new Accord, Civic,
Is there any more information you would like to get out? Yes. Would you like me to roll the dice? Yes. Would you like me to just pull out letters? Am I getting in? It's my favorite color, red. Would you just like me to pull out letters or roll the dice? Roll the dice. Pull letters. Okay. So we're pulling letters. What else would you like to talk about? Eight. Do you need me to pull out more letters? Yes. Got moon. Number 6. Money. Do you need me to pull out any more letters? No. So something hidden. And with Lilith out here, we're getting something on feminine energy. And then we also got something with money. 8th house represents... Yep. Okay. Governs transformations, shared resources like inheritance, taxes, partners, money, intimacy, secrets, and occult, death, and rebirth. Okay. All right. It's about hidden depths, taboos, trauma, and intense generation, representing the other person's finances. This is. And the power dynamics within partnerships, driving spiritual and personal rebirth through facing the unknown and letting go. Okay? Sixth house. Health, daily routines, work, service, and self-care representing your job, work environment, habits, and how you serve others, including employees and subordinates. I'm telling you, I told you, like, this is about something that he had to do with work. The reason why he's dead is because something happened that involved money with his work. What he last worked on was that last movie, Spinal Tap 2. So it has something to do with the finances and work. And the fact that we got Lilith out here is legit, like, dark energy, like dark feminine energy. And we got the moon, which again is hidden. We got the money out here, which is symbols, or with, the money sign out here, so obviously finances. It's not changing. It's not changing. None of it is changing. It's staying the same. That's a W. We got sleep. I'm not just see J's. I hate you. A wolf in sheep's clothing. Do I have a G out here? Or sheep's clothes. So a wolf in sheep's clothes. So we have murder, we had finances, murder for money, a wolf in sheep's clothes. Okay, well we know that. And murder and sleep. Attempted to SA. Is orphan significant to anything regarding your murder? Yes. So I'm like, what does orphan mean? So I looked up orphan, and for whatever reason, I said because it's talking about the dark feminine. So I typed in her name and orphanage. Okay, so here's this. There's no public record or major news about actress being in an orphanage. The search results point towards the character Hope McCrae in Virgin River, where actress plays having an orphanage backstory, or at least a difficult past in the show's lore. But the real life is a professional actress with a long career, not an orphanage survivor. However, the orphanage mentioned in one result refers to the O'Connell Institute, a historical institute for Indigenous children in Canada. Or something about it. Okay, so the show Virgin River, her character Hope McCrae has a complex, sometimes tragic background explored in the series that might involve institutionalization or difficult childhoods leading to searches about orphanages. Okay. Okay, so the O'Connell Institute, a separate historical residence school in Canada where abuse occurred. Oh, wow. Unrelated to the actress. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Are you speaking in the sense of the dark feminine, the murderer, the dark masculine, dark feminine? Yes. Was she ever in an orphanage? Does she donate to an orphanage? So she just played somebody who wasn't an orphan. Okay. All right. Expect windfall. I don't have all the L's, but are they expecting a windfall of money? Yeah. Are they going to get it? No. Did they think they were going to get it? Yes. Do they know they're being investigated? No. Do you know when they're going to be investigated? Yeah. Or do you know when they will find out when they're going to be investigated? Yeah. Is it going to be before they're served with search warrants? It's going to be when they're served with search warrant. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh. Okay, so a seizure warrant. A seize warrant, which is, yeah, a seizure warrant, a seize warrant is a court order authorizing officials like sheriffs and bailiffs to take a debtor's assets to cover an unpaid judgment, while a search warrant authorizes law enforcement to find and seize evidence or contraband related to a crime, both requiring probable cause but serving different purposes. Debt collection versus criminal investigation. Are they going to be hit with both? Civil warrants allow seizing goods like furniture and real estate, while criminal warrants target items permitted crime, like stolen goods or weapons, always with strict constitutional limits. Oh my gosh, they're going to hit with both. So they're going to get hit with both at the same time? Holy shit. I was about to say open investigations, but I'm getting more now. Open investments. What's that? The term open investments most commonly refers to the open-end funds, which are investment vehicles that can issue an unlimited number of shares to new investors. The term can also refer to opening an investment account or the start of a trading period in financial markets. Okay, so opening an investment account can also mean the process of starting investment journey by opening a brokerage account. Brokerage firms offer various account types to meet different financial goals. General investing accounts, flexible accounts for various goals. Example is saving for a home or wedding with no specific tax benefits but with the flexibility to withdraw money at any time. Retirement accounts, tax advantage accounts like traditional IRAs or Roth IRAs designed for long-term savings goals. Education savings account 529 plans, accounts specifically designed for saving for a child's education expenses. Liquidity and management. These funds offer great flexibility and liquidity for investors. They are managed open investments. Scams? Open investment scams generally refers to active or prevalent investment fraud schemes that are currently targeting individuals. These scams often share common warning signs and methods, such as guaranteed high returns with little to no pressure to invest immediately, and the use of hard to trace payment methods like cryptocurrency. Okay, so pump and dump sounds kind of weird. A pump and dump scheme Scammers artificially inflate the price of a low-value stock with false and misleading information to create a buying frenzy, who then sell their own shares at a profit, causing the price to crash and leaving other investors with losses. Okay, so crypto scams. These capitalize on the popularity of digital assets involving fake exchanges, fraudulent initial coin offerings, or other deceitful trading platforms. Key warning signs: guaranteed profits, pressure tactics, unsolicited contact, lack of documentation, suspicious payment methods, and unlicensed sellers. Is there anything more? Are there any more messages within here? Yeah, there is. Okay. Okay, so my thing just buzzed again, so that's confirmation. So exports. Send goods or services to another country for sale. Are there any more messages? Yes. Is imports. Imports. That's probably why we got Mexico coming out. Okay, so imports are goods and services bought from other countries, crucial for economies to access goods not available, scarce, or cheaper abroad, impacting trade balance and GDP, involving customs, duties. Duties are also tariffs and regulations with common types, including consumer goods, electronics, and energy, and major sources often being China, Mexico, and Canada for the US. Whenever we were getting Mexico yesterday. My nose is starting to get stuffy. Does imports and exports have something to do with this? Yes. Are there any more messages? Imports and exports? Anything else? No. Okay. You. Would you like me to roll the dice? Yes. Would you like me to pull letters? No. Roll the dice. Okay. In regards to what we were just talking about, what else would you like to say? So when I typed this in, I was kind of looking at it, and like we got the number 15566 most commonly refers to the express train in India running from New Delhi to Ladagram daily, but it also identifies Invicta watch. Invicta means like unstoppable, unconquered. But it also can mean time, like time, because it's a watch. I can get more of like time's ticking, or it's like a matter of time. We're getting cars again. And then when I go down a little bit, it's talking about remanufacturing. So I then looked up, is remanufacturing goods legal? It says yes, remanufacturing goods is legal in a significant industry, but it must comply with specific regulations for labeling, identifying them as used or remanufactured, intellectual property laws, safety standards, and specific rules for regulated items like medical devices with right to repair laws, increasingly shaping the landscape. The key is clear identification, meeting safety specs, and respecting IP rights. The different rules, IP rights. Oh, not infringing patents. Are they infringing on patents? Is this has something to do with the movie? Okay, hold on a second. Yep. Okay, patents and entertainment industry. What's interesting here is that each component that is used in the making of a film or a musical recording almost always holds a patent. My chime just went off. If you mean copyright protection, no. Did the movie have copyright protection? Yes. So they're trying to remanufacture the patent. Okay. Okay, so you cannot remanufacture a patent for a movie because movies are protected by copyright law, not patent law. Patents protect inventions, processes, and designs, while copyrights protect original creative works like films and screenplays. To create a new version of the existing movie, often called a remake, reboot, or derivative work, you generally need to secure the rights from the original copyright holders. Yeah, but the original copyright holder is dead, so. Do you. That's weird. Okay, to secure rights from a deceased copyright holder, you must identify and contact their estate via their publisher or public records, as copyright transfers via will or state law to family requiring written agreements with the estate representative or IP attorney, to manage licenses or transfers while being aware of potential rights terminations by heirs under a U.S. law. Is that why they were trying to frame Nick Reiner? It's my favorite color, red. Am I speaking to the All High Almighty, Jesus Christ? Rob Reiner, Michelle Reiner, anyone else other than the four of you? Do you swear upon Jesus Christ's name you're telling me the truth? So, was Nick Reiner supposed to get the film, like, inherit the film stuff? Hold on. Oh, okay, hold the phone. Rob Reiner's wealth was not only built on inheritance, but on decades of success in Hollywood. So Nick would have gotten... What does Romy Reiner do? She is also an actress. What was the reason to framing Nick Reiner? What was the reason? What was the reason to framing... Or, whoa! Hello, come back. What was the reason to framing Nick Reiner? What was the reason? Because it sounds like to me, like, if they framed him for the murder, like, it sounds like they would have to bop off the other two, too. Somehow, in some way. Okay. Do you want me to pull out any more letters? No. Or is the answer in the letters? Yes. Is the answer in the symbols? Yes. Okay, so we got Gemini and Lilith. where an individual might express a wild, untamed need for mental stimulation, leading to sharp wit or erratic communication, a fascination with taboo subjects, and a definition for conventional mental patterns. It depends on what the inheritance said. If they knew, it's a complex relationship with truth and lies. So you telling me that they would have to do something to the other two siblings as well to get them out of the way? It's my favorite color, red. It's my favorite flower of roses. Okay. It's my favorite car, a Dodge. It's my favorite car, a Mustang. Okay. Okay. Getting liability, mental ward. Okay, so Lilith in Capricorn signifies a powerful, often repressed drive for achievement, authority, and material success, representing your untamed ambitions, secret power, and rebellious stance against limitations, leading to intense focus, resilience, but also potential struggles with control, tradition, and emotional vulnerability. Okay, so he wouldn't be able to be controlled. He's too much of a wild card because of his mental illnesses. Key witness. Are you saying that the people who set him up was a key witness? No, he's a key witness. So does he know something? Does Nick Reiner know something? Does he know that he knows something? No. He hasn't put the pieces together on it yet. Okay. So when I saw GOP, it says a grand party. A grand old party. Remember they were at a party when this went down. Did Nick Reiner murder you? No, he was set up. He was a scapegoat. But he's a key witness to something. When he was witnessing it, did he understand what was happening? No. Was he there the night that you were murdered? No. Was he even in the house? No. Was he when you left the party, did he go into the house? Yes. Did he pack a bag to just leave? Yeah. When he was a key witness to something, was it something that was at the house that night? No, it was during another time. Yes. So that's why they needed to get him out of the way. Were Rob and Michelle, were you meant to die during this for the setup? Were you meant to die that night? Yes. And that was good because because they know he has a mental thing going on. Him being he's a key witness to something. He knows something. He just hasn't put it two and two together yet. What was Nick Reiner a witness to that he didn't? Okay, so he doesn't know that he was a witness to something. Okay, he's not putting two and two together, but he's a witness to something to get him set up to be the murderer. Okay, so what was he a witness to? What did he witness? What did he witness? We got star. Should I pull out more letters? Yes. What was he a witness to? What did he witness to make him a target as a scapegoat? Scorpio, 7th house, and Leo. Do you need me to pull out any more letters? Yes. He was a witness. He witnessed. He doesn't know what he witnessed, but he was a witness to something. Burn discs. Alright. Okay, so burning discs, it's like how to burn a CD. Like, okay, so like when I was a teenager, when we were listening to CDs, you can burn music onto a CD. Like a mixtape or something like that. Okay, so they burned. Okay, the act of burning is not illegal. It's the sales. It's the selling of it. There's something that they've done that he witnessed that caused him to be. It has something to do. When I'm toting ICP, Internet Computer Protocol, tokens is a standard built-in function of the network's design and is not illegal. It is a core part of the tokenomics. Okay, misunderstanding. Can be illegal. Often illegal due to okay, the burning of cryptocurrency, or less likely, the burning of the cryptocurrency ICP tokens, which is a standard operational mechanism. So he witnessed them do something. It has something to do with sales, burning something. Were hold on. Were they physically burning something or burning something off of like just onto something else? Yeah, but he didn't realize. Okay, so like, did he catch him in an office or something doing this? Did they lie about what they were doing? Oh, that's a hard yes. So to make sure that he didn't say anything or like, that's fucking crazy. This shit is crazy. Are you serious? So you're telling me they used Nick as a scapegoat. They had to find a way to use him as a scapegoat, and the fact that he had an open, loud ass argument in front of everybody at the party, and just to kill these guys off. That would, yeah, okay. USB. They were burning something, not burning in the sense like physically setting something on fire, but they were doing something. He caught them doing it, but he didn't realize what they were doing. I'm getting like the waiting game. The waiting game. I'm getting they were playing the waiting game. Like they were waiting for their moment. So the waiting game. Okay, waiting game. A tactic in which one refrains from action for a time in order to act more effectively at a later date or stage. So Nick saw something. Key witness and key witness. He witnessed them doing something. He didn't understand or know what they were doing, but it doesn't matter. The fact that he saw them doing it, if he somehow remembers, like, say if the lawyer watches this and he's like, did you ever see these people doing something in regards to, like, being in some, like, say somebody's office, whether it's at work or at the house, and they seem sketchy? Did they seem a little weird or like surprised that you saw them? Or do I have another R? No, I don't have another, but I'm getting like surprised or shocked. My thing just clicked when I said shocked. And now my candle says, I guess it's about to go out, but the fact that it's going out as soon as I said shocked. They were shocked. Like, I guess they were shocked that Nick walked in and saw them doing something. I mean, obviously they played it off like they weren't really doing something. Yeah, so they were playing the waiting game. The people who set it up are playing the waiting game because, like I said, a tactic in which one refrains from action for a time in order to act more effectively at a later date or stage. Okay, so Nick saw something that they did. Whether he understood what they were doing or knew what they were doing or had an inkling about what they're doing is irrelevant. The fact that he saw them doing something, it shocked, because when he walked in, most likely he walked in on what they were doing and it shocked them, and they played it off like nothing was going on. Oh no, it's like, oh hey, how's it going? Da, da. Oh, what are you doing in here? Oh well, blah 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 blah. Yada yada yada. They played it off like nothing was going on, but they had to play. They're like, he saw us. He saw us. We have to do something. That's what I'm getting. We have to do something. He saw us, but it's like they can't just off him. You know what I mean? Like, they had something to do. Like, it's basically killing three birds with one stone. We get this guy out of the way because he has mental problems. And we get these guys out of the way, which gives us more money. Rob and Michelle, were you in on the scandal? That's show me no, please. It's my favorite color red. It's my favorite color blue. It's my favorite flower. Mums. It's my favorite flower, lilies. It's my favorite car, a Dodge. A Rolls Royce. Mustang. Do you swear upon Jesus Christ's name you're telling me the truth? Okay. So, Rob and Michelle, were you in on the scam? Yes, and you were betrayed by your partners in crime? Whoa, this thing is swinging hard. And now they're trying to take out your son at the same time by putting him in jail or a mental ward. Because he knows something. Does your daughter know anything? Does your other son know anything? No. Oh my god, this is swinging really hard. Okay. Did he walk in on you doing something specific? Did he walk in on you doing something specific? No. Did he walk in on them doing something specific? Yes. Did he understand what was going on? No, but it's the fact that he saw it. Okay, yep. What the hell? Holy shit, that's why. So they were portraying, so unfortunately Rob was part of this, whatever illegal financial scam thing was going on, but they were betrayed by the two people that said, this is crazy. Are you fucking kidding me? If this shit ain't made for movies or television, I don't know what the fuck is. Like, this shit is fucking crazy. Because it doesn't make sense that Nick is the one that killed the parents when he wasn't even in the home at the time. He wasn't even there. Because, like, all the videos and surveillance videos that they showed was during the time, like, after the murders. Like, where's the surveillance videos and everything before the murders? Because he obviously wasn't in the house. Because if they were, like I said, if you check the thermostat, you will be able to see whether or not somebody messed with the thermostat in order to make it seem like he probably did do it. But the fact that they're prolonging the arraignment, especially after I messaged them, like a day after I messaged them and said, like, you may need to look into this, especially if Nick is professing his innocence, you might want to look at this video. Because every time I ask, no matter what, it keeps telling me no. So they were playing the waiting game. Good Lord. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Is that all the messages for today? Yes. Are we done with the read? Yes. Holy shit. I mean, it took a while to get everything out, but, you know, everything needs to come out in divine timing. You know what I mean? Like, it can't just be like, boom, there it is, bam, there it is. Especially if I was getting, if I'm getting the police and lawyers' attention on this, like, it had to come out in doses, because, like, if this were to just came out like, boom, this is what happened, they'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe this bitch is a wackadoodle. But the fact that I'm saying things that are basically lining up with the things that are going on in the case that obviously I would not know, or else they wouldn't have held off on the arraignment. So you might want to ask Nick if he witnessed anything suspicious, like suspicious activity, like they were doing something sus. Like I said, like you walked in and they're like, "Oh, hi," and they're like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, nothing," yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. Just basically playing it off like there was nothing really going on. Alright. Well, that's like damn near 2 hours. That took, cheese and crackers. Are you kidding me? Well, that's all I got for this. I'm going to take a brief break and then I'm going to come back and answer some of the questions that I got, like I was talking about in the beginning of the video. And I will see you on the next one, guys. Fucking crazy. Alright. Like, share, and subscribe. Love you. Bye.